What's going on, guys? It is MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion Spotlight video. Today we are going to talk about the monster known as Ignatius, Ogren Tribe's defense-based legendary. Now, what makes this champion so good, besides how good his character model looks? I have been able to farm 12-6 Nightmare campaign in 17 seconds with him as my best attempt. He can also 3-champion, meaning like 3-man, the Spider 20 dungeon, and this is also a 100% success rate. I will have to alter the team a bit because of how I have him built for Nightmare campaign, so I will have to manual it. I will explain it when we get there towards the end of the video, so make sure you watch all the way through so you fully understand how this champion works in Spider. So first, let's go over his skills. We have an A1 that attacks one enemy, has a 15% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. This can go all the way up to a 25% chance to stun. All of his skills are based on defense. He has an A2 that's an AoE provoke, giving a 50, 60, 75% chance of provoking that target for 1 turn. And now the key to his kit is his A3 Turn to Ash. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, but once booked it's a 100% chance. Place an HP burn debuff. Now, the reason why Ignatius is the best HP burner in the game is because of this next line of text here. This debuff cannot be resisted. So there are champions like Ultimate Gallic, Tyrant, Cupidus. They all provide an AoE HP burn. However, this debuff for Ignatius cannot be resisted, whereas the other ones require accuracy, so on and so forth. So what this means is you can build 0 accuracy and this will land, always, cannot be resisted. The aura he has makes his kit even better, giving ally defense in all battles by 25%. So fantastic champion. Let me show you how I geared him for Nightmare campaign farming. The gear requirement to do it as quick as I do it is very, very high. It was rather difficult for me to put all of this gear together, so keep that in mind. If trying to replicate this, do not expect 17 seconds. It's the fastest time I've seen when I was doing this at the time. I'm sure people have gotten faster by now, but I started this probably a month and a half to 2 months ago. So the first thing you have to do is you have to put him in a lifesteal gear set. I also recommend pairing it with Divine Speed or a Speed 2-piece. So getting right into his total stats, 40,000 health. You don't need 40,000, but you cannot go below 30,000 based on one of the champions in 12-6 Nightmare has crit potential of up to 26,000. And that also obviously depends on your defense. So you don't want to risk getting crit and dying and having the run be for nothing. So I give him 37,000 defense, 189 speed. Speed is also important. We'll talk about that when I start the Nightmare campaign run. 100% crit, another very vital stat, having 100% when trying to farm with him. 240% crit damage, resistance, accuracy, none of that matters. As far as base stats go, he has 18,000 health. Not huge, but not terrible. 1200 defense, also not very high for a defense-based champion, but based on his kit, we can't ask for everything. 93 speed, kind of on the lower spectrum of the speed. 15 crit, 50% critical damage, also on the lower end. Very common to see from a defense-based champion. So now let's get into the masteries I used for him as a Nightmare campaign farmer. These masteries will be a lot different if you are trying to use them in Spider, and these masteries are part of the reason, along with his gear, on why I have to manual Spider in the 3-man team when I show you that later. I gave him your typical one-shot build from champions. It's very important not to take the support tree here, because Retribution can save your life. With the mob I was referring to before that has the potential to crit and almost one-shot you, so this is really strong in being able to help you fully heal up. I definitely can reduce time on my Nightmare campaign runs if I don't take this, but as far as consistency goes, that is the most important to me. So as you can see here, I gave him Helm Smasher, Kill Streak, Methodical, and the only other important one is Whirlwind of Death when farming. Increases 6 speed, so he does ramp up throughout the match. Another important mastery is Wrath of the Slain. Since you are farming with 3 people, they will get 1 shot in the first wave. So this gives him a nice 10% damage boost the rest of the run. So now let me show you what he can do in the Nightmare campaign. As mentioned before, the 3 food you have with you will die off the start, giving him a pretty decent damage increase. Now, the champion on the right that we saw there, I forget her name, she's also on the right here. She is the one who has the potential to almost one-shot you if she crits, so that is the champion to look for. Now we are going to do a few multi-battles here, so you'll be able to see the average time. So here we had a 27-second one. This does depend on the Helm Smasher, if it procs, if it doesn't, if cooldowns get decreased, as we just saw on the screen there, so on and so forth. Overall, he's a fantastic champion to have. We saw there that did not crit, thankfully, on him, so he didn't die, but he is a very consistent farmer. He hits really hard for a defensive-based champion, and really there's nothing more you can ask for. So right now we had our second 27-second run. Let's hope we get some good RNG and have it proc. So as I mentioned before, when I was building this, you really have to find a good balance between speed and damage. That can really set you up for reducing cooldowns, having the cooldowns cycled, sacrificing a little bit of wave clear damage, and in return being able to dish out a ton of normal damage. As you can imagine how good the RNG was on my perfect run, where I just hit 17 seconds on stage 2. So we had tons of Helm Smasher procs before. So we are back on our quest to get the best time we can for this video. Let's see what happens here. Already the beginning was a bit slow to start, so we'll see if we can recover. So 17 seconds, we just hit our personal best mark. And here was a 20-second run. I am satisfied with that for the video. It will be, as mentioned before, RNG to hit the 17 mark. Things have to align perfectly, so I'm not going to spend all of my energy trying to replicate that for the video. We see the best time there. You saw him in action. Now let's move straight to the Spider's Den. Alright guys, here we are in the Spider's Den. Make this 3-man team work. You will need someone like Frankenstein, Santa Claus, anyone who can provide lots of shielding for the team. Even a Man-Eater with an unkillable buff. I prefer shield, and since he has a stun, that's also a benefit. The other thing you're going to need is a reduced turn meter. Now, ideally, most people aren't going to try to do this with 3 champions, so if you had to pick other champions, you can pick a Tyrell, anyone with the defense down, and a Cold Heart. You can even take out Lysandra and add a Cold Heart, make it 2 Cold Hearts. The best I've gotten a run with Ignatius and Cold Hearts in is 100% chance of between 30 seconds to a minute and 10 seconds on auto. Now, as mentioned before, I have Ignatius built for pure damage, so I cannot auto this run, or his A2 and his A3 combo will kill all of the spiderlings. So let's take this for a roll. So first we're going to start with increasing our speed and decreasing the turn meter. Now we are going to apply the best part of his kit, which is the AoE HP burn that cannot be resisted. As we see, it's on every single mob in front of us. We'll hit them with the shield and stun. We'll use the A1 to reduce the turn meter. Now we'll use Ignatius A1 on auto. He would A2 here, and he would be killing the rest of these spiderlings. What we're going to do now is use the protect, fully deplete the spider's turn meter to get even more AoE HP burn damage. And we're going to go ahead and A1 here. And like I said before, me autoing this does not mean you have to auto this all the time. I'm just doing this because Ignatius will one-shot the spiderlings if I just let this go, and yes, I have tried this. So now we have no more HP burns on, so we can use the A2 so he doesn't heal up as much. We don't need to decrease the turn meter, we'll just let him heal up so we can get the spiderlings out again and make it so he can reapply his HP burn and we'll down the spider from there. Increase our speed again, decrease the turn meter. Toss some A1s out. Alright, now it's time to finish this spider off. We don't need to reduce the turn meter yet. She is fast enough to keep going. Granted, she doesn't die here. Throw on the ally protection to make sure she lives. Now we will reduce the turn meter fully, just like a cold heart would do. And we will let the HP burn destroy the Spider 20 boss. Now, as you can see, I did manual this, do it rather slowly, and I explained it all the way through, and I still got 2-minute and 20-second time. Now what I'll do for you is, I'll try to manual this run quicker to see what we can get, what will be more realistic for a typical auto time that you would see if trying this composition. Also, I can say that if you do run Ignatius without damage and a lot tankier, this run will be 10 times faster than even the manual run I'm about to do. Let's see what I can do here. Got the speed. Forgive me if I don't talk too much. I want to concentrate and try to make this as quick as possible. Without messing up, of course. It is nice to see Lysandra reapplying those poisons she's getting from the spiderlings right onto the spider. That definitely does help. Damage done. She did die there, that's fine. I am messing this up a little bit, but our time should still be pretty quick. Now I can basically just watch him burn, spam the A1s. Alright, so as you can see here, we got 1 minute and 28 seconds. Not the fastest time in the world, but like I said, if you build him tanky, and you build enough, I mean, just imagine a cold heart here. Like I said before, a cold heart, or even 2 cold hearts with a Dracomorph, any defense down. This is going to be a consistent 30-second to 32-second run, and what makes this so good is a lot of spider comps fail if the defense down doesn't land. Ignatius is the ultimate tool of bad luck protection, where you don't need a defense down to make this successful. You only need a cold heart there for whatever extra damage her Heartseeker can apply. It doesn't have to be crazy like some people need it to one-shot the boss. All that matters is the turn meter reduction and Ignatius being able to get off that HP burn and letting it sit throughout the entire duration on all the spiderlings. Alright guys, once again, thanks for watching. This is another awesome champion, another one of my favorites. Really enjoyed doing this video. I know I've been asked through streams and YouTube to make a guide on this champion. I did bring it up in the last video and people kind of erupted saying, absolutely make him, we've been waiting for him. Here it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you can see the next videos I am going to release. Thank you for your time and look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.